Hey, thank you for tuning in to this week's Seller Community Podcast, brought to you by List Perfectly and Listing Party. This week, we're going to discuss BOSS Reseller Remix 2023. Really excited, Doug. How about you?
Yes. 3 years in. Have you noticed my shirt, Trish?
I did notice your shirt, Doug. It's you're repping for BOSS. Good for you. Good for you. I did not have that much thought process this morning.
This is my Boss 2021 vintage Boss Reseller Remix.
I don't
I
really think
believe
it's vintage yet, but
I believe double stitch, Trish. Um,
gotta wait 20 years, Doug.
I do like yes, depending upon who you talk to. I do like to get the shirts. Year 2, my shirt was stolen, technically. My bag was stolen, but it was okay
Okay, good. I'm
'cause I
glad it
have
was
I
okay.
have I have this one, my
Okay.
special. And then year 3, I don't know what happened. I don't think it was
They
on the
didn't do shirts in year 3, that's what happened.
yes. And then, I spoke the first year, you spoke the second year. I
Nope,
think
I
I was
spoke the 1st year and the 2nd year. Hey,
I
now.
was I think I was temporarily banned, but the ban was lifted because I was able to weasel myself back on stage. Actually, I got on stage last year too, so never mind. Perhaps I wasn't shadow banned. I'm just kidding about that.
Shadow banned? What is this? What is this, TikTok? You being shadow banned by
I'm
things?
shadow banned. I only get 200 views.
Exactly.
Which happened. I get like 220.
Yeah, 200's like the number.
Mm. I see.
So, I am sure Boss got a lot more than 200 views, so
Yes.
tell me, Doug, what you thought of this year. I thought this year was great.
Yeah. So anyway, Boss Reseller Remix was in October in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, organized by our friends Teresa Cox, Katie and Vicky Zilverberg. Third year in, Trish and I have been there all 3 years. I always love this event. I mean, we see so many friends, um, and I think it's always a great event. Always fun to spend a week in Vegas. I thought this year was great. I really liked the programming. We'll talk about that. I really liked the setup. There were some new vendors there this year. I talked to a couple of them. That was great. And again, we saw a lot of seller friends, made some new ones, spread the gospel on List Perfectly. Preaching, a lot of the choir was there. So
A
that was
lot of
good.
the choir was there, it was nice.
Yeah, but we had a good time. But we'll talk about learnings in a bit when we go over some of the speakers. But how about you? How was Boss Reseller Remix 2023 for Trish?
It was good, it was really good, I had a great time. Diane Lassonde was there. She had, her Fearless Living Fund that she started last year at Boss, gave out its first checks this year, which so it was a little emotional, a little heart tuggy for me. I always find it a little difficult.
Yeah,
Diane is, my best friend in the world, so sometimes it's a little, hard for me, but, she was wonderful. They gave out, 3 scholarships, 2 to
yeah.
people who are at the Blind Center and 1 to our own, Pam. Why can't I think of Pam's last name?
Oliver,
Oliver?
is it?
I don't think so. It will come to me. Pam won $1,000 for her reselling journey, which was great. And we all make fun of her because she's like the luckiest girl we know. She wins lots of stuff all the time.
Pam
Um,
Arnold. Pam Arnold.
Arnold, Oliver, you were close. Arnold, Pam Arnold. And it was lovely that Pam won. She is such a nice woman and she helps in the community and she's always there to answer questions. So it's great when somebody wins, who you feel really deserves it. So that was wonderful. Um, I
Very
did,
nice lady. Wait, hang on. Stop the
yeah,
show. Very nice lady. Her husband is a magician,
he
close
is.
up magician.
He is. He did a little at the party the last night.
Little
Little
sleight of hand.
little sleight of hand with some magic tricks. Yeah.
That's right.
Card based, I think. But, he's nice. They're fun, they're fun, they're a really nice, fun couple, so that was great, she won. And the last night, they have a party the last night, and the party this year, was inside and outside, which was really fun, I really liked that, they had an outside space, it was great, I really enjoyed that.
It was fun. It was fun. So a couple of things real quick. So Diane Lassonde has the Fearless Living Foundation. And so that benefits the Blind Center for Nevada in different ways. Lots of fundraising, lots of donations. And we'll have Diane on the show soon. And she's Trish's best friend. We all love her. But we'll tell that story soon. But yeah,
Okay.
the Fearless Living Foundation is a great great resource.
I think
And
it's fund. Fearless Living
then,
Fund. I
okay.
think.
All right, we're getting it all. We're getting it all.
We will make sure we give you all the right. I'm almost positive it's fund and not foundation.
We'll put the link, and then
Okay.
we also did a group costume for the party.
We did. So it was you, me, Diane, her daughter Jen, and Casey Paris. And we came as the three sisters from Hocus Pocus, Sanderson sisters, I think. To be honest, I've never seen the movie.
Oh,
And I know, I'm sorry. And Doug was some kind of, I don't know what you were.
Billy Butcherson, the zombie. But so here's the story. So Trish calls me probably a month or so back. She's like, Diane wants to do a group costume for the boss party. Are you in? And it's like, of course I'm in. Was shocked you had to ask. And then she said, we're doing the Sanderson sisters. And of course I said, who the hell are the Sanderson sisters? I know the Andrews sisters. Of course,
Yep.
I know a very
Yep.
obscure old reference. And she goes, no, 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 from Hocus Pocus. I was like,
See,
oh, okay.
I would have known the Anderson sisters. I could have sang Biggie
Oh,
Woogie
there we
Bugle
go.
Boy or something. Like, I could have done that. The Sanderson sisters was over my head. So go ahead. I apologize.
Did you say Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy from Bumblebee?
From Company B.
All right. Anyway, so of course, instantly I was like, which sister am I?
Yes.
The sister roles were taken. So I had
I
Cat or the
forgot that
zombie.
Jen was coming, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you can be one of the sisters." And then I tell Diane this, and she goes, there's 3 women. Jen's coming." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, I apologize. And of course, I would choose Sarah Jessica Parker.
Of
Sex and the
course.
City, Square Pegs,
Of course.
you
Square
know.
Pegs, I loved that show.
Yes, yes.
Um,
Devo.
so you were Billy Butcherson, is that his name?
Yes, yes,
And then, Casey was a cat.
yes. Originally,
I
I had chosen the cat because I wanted to learn the accent because he speaks in a British accent. That kind of
oh,
comes and goes, by the way,
see, I
in
kind
the
of feel like
movie.
I now have to go watch this movie.
It's good. It's a good, it's a good holiday Halloween film, family film, very popular. Um, but we did that. Also,
Mhm.
Diane's fund did a great auction. Many things were auctioned off. So
Including a date with Dougie, a
that's true.
Zoom date.
A Zoom date with Snoop Dougie, which was won by the fabulous Susie Eads. I still got to set that off. We'll do some Zoom pizza.
Yes,
We'll
you
run
gotta send
through
her.
the first date questions, see how it goes. And like I've said, if the first Zoom goes well, maybe there'll be a second.
Maybe there'll be a
You know
second
what I'm
Zoom.
saying? But so this is a great event. It's interesting because it's basically a week in Vegas, which is a challenge. It's down there downtown, it's down on Fremont Street, and they tie a lot into it, a lot of social stuff. So first night was what's always cool, the meet and greet to get back together and see, hey, what's up, everybody? Nice
Yep,
to see
that was
you.
fun, and it was at a new place this year, and we were the only people in there, which was nice.
Yep.
So and it was you just walk down Fremont Street and you can get there, which is good, not having to drive anywhere. So you just walk down, and the club was nice. Um, and Kat, the nurse flipper, was there, and she brought her son because last year the place he could have gone in the place. So this year they couldn't let him in because he wasn't 21. So Dalton was sitting outside, like saying hi to everybody, like the little prince. He's got these chairs and he's saying hello to everyone who walks in. He was just the cutest. He's the cutest kid. So he and I walked down and saw the praying mantis that breathes fire, and he would jump every time the thing happened. It was really cute. So it was fun. You saw people that night. It was a little dark. So every time I went outside, I was like, "Oh, I
Oh, you talked to me.
didn't see
And that was me
you."
Trish was talking about. We walked over here together.
Exactly, and then, so that was nice the first night, and then it started that next day. I think our registration started at 10 or 11, and so there was some programming. They've added, like, a half a day of programming instead of 2 full days, it's, like, 2 full days and a half. So that started the next day, and then that night was that a container park? No, the first night was off. Then the next day, all full day programming, and then that night everybody goes to this place called Container Park, which is made out of containers,
Yeah, it's
like shipping
places in a
containers. Yeah,
cool little
little
spot.
bars, little restaurants. It was cute. And then we all walked down Fremont, which is always eye-opening.
Yeah, there's always something going on there. The Fremont Night Crawl
Yep.
started at the container park with the optional thrifted outfit contest, which was fun. Some people
They
did
did. Some
dress
people really dressed. It was cute. I
up.
did not. I did it last year and I was miserable, so I didn't do it this year.
It does get warm.
It
I was
does.
warm in my blazer.
Exactly.
One of the stars of dressing up is always the fabulous Jody Bagwell.
Oh, yeah. She always has an outfit on. That girl
Always,
can dress.
yeah, and even just showing up is
Yeah, yeah,
always
yeah, yeah. She's
fabulous.
dressed all the
Yeah,
time, no matter what it is. Never mind with a theme, then she really dresses. I mean, she is
right.
always on point. Um, and Allison, Big Drift Thrift, Allison, who lives in Alaska, she had on like a costume from I guess it was like some kind of dinosaur,
That's
Tyrannosaurus
Tyrannosaurus
Rex, maybe.
Rex,
Yeah, and she
king of
kept
the
trying to
dinosaurs.
eat my head.
Yeah. Trish was shocked that no one would run over to help her. It's like, we knew it wasn't a real dinosaur.
Yeah, I know, it's very sad. I have all these photos of me getting eaten and no one was helping me.
Unbelievable.
I
We
see how
knew
it is, Doug.
we knew you'd be okay. We knew you'd be okay. So, let's go over some of the speakers, remind
Sure.
people who were there, and then, I didn't see a ton of the presentations, but I did see some that I'd love to comment on.
I saw
Obviously,
none. I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't see any presentations this year.
not
I
even me.
I didn't even know, nothing. I saw
Amanda
no
was Amanda was there too, but I was
I
facilitating.
everybody went outside when you did it. Everybody from LP went outside and watched you, and Amanda and I stayed at the booth. So I literally never left the
Amanda was down with me.
Yeah, I know, that's what I mean, and so
Okay.
Leslie and Dana and Josh all went outside and watched, and I stayed at the booth. So I literally that's what I meant. Like, I literally never saw anything. So
You said they all went outside. I thought they all left.
no, no.
Everybody left when you
I
were
and watched you guys.
so, yeah, Amanda talked about Pro Plus, and I kinda helped facilitate and take questions. That was great. And I'm looking at the speakers, Katie and Vicky, Teresa, the hosts. Dominique Collins, our friend, was the MC again, always does a great job. Adam Ireland from eBay was there, the VP and general manager of the US, interviewed by our new friend, uh,
eBay it girl.
eBay It Girl, and a pecker. Adam Adam Ireland was there, VP and general manager of the US, and he got up there and early on and was interviewed by Anna Packer, who loves that we call her the new eBay It Girl.
She is the new eBay it girl.
Everywhere. And she's got that new podcast with the boys, Seller Club podcast, which is great. Give that a listen. And speaking of podcasts, our friend Maggie Civic was there from the Get Thrifty podcast. That's a great one
Arc
too. She
Arc
she did
Thrift.
an Arc Thrift, yeah, the Arc Thrift Get Thrifty podcast. She did a great presentation on thrift stores working with you and you working with thrift stores. That was great. Let's just go through Michael DeHaas, Storage Auction Pirate. Obviously, our buddy Kevin Brown, Commonwealth Picker, had a good presentation. He's
He's
always
a
great
great
up there.
speaker. He was a teacher in his former life. He really knows how to give a presentation. I enjoy listening to him.
And I think, yeah, he's always great. John Dugan, Reseller Rabbit, he stood out. I think he was the one that kind of talked about like organizing and being business minded. I think a lot of people like that one. Tiffany Erlinger, Thrifting Vegas, Chaz Leslie from the Side Hustle Network, Alex and Liz Rodriguez, Storage Stalker and Little Mama, Misty Pate, Thrifty Junker Vintage Hunter.
That's a cool name.
That's right. Libby, Molly, and Samantha, Consignment Chats ladies, they're always great. Kristen Lott, Rural Squirrel, they have a podcast as well, the Let's Do Lunch podcast. It was a
Yep,
year of podcasts. The Mighty Griff was there with the eBay for Business podcast.
yep. It was the podcast year.
That's right. Angie, and we were there as well.
Of course.
Angie LaCroix, Angie Resells. I talked to this lady, Tiffany Lundy, Vintage Curator. Talked to her a little bit. She's really big on Whatnot. So I talked to her a little bit about Whatnot, and she's super cool. Nanette Zupan, American Artifacts.
And
Uh,
that's great.
Nanette is cool. And then I did see this presentation too with this lady, Tiffany Stewart, Tiffy Pie, Jill Yank, and our
Sarah
friend
Boynton.
Sarah Boykin, and they talked about Poshmark and selling on Poshmark. And Tiffany tied List Perfectly into her Poshmark success and expanding her business to other platforms.
Yeah, that was great. And what's interesting about that to me is the first 2 years of Bosch were really eBay focused because Vicky, Katie, and Teresa are mainly eBay sellers. They are now all branched out into multiple things. And so because of that, things have changed. There's other platforms. Whatnot was there as one of the vendors. Poshmark up brought up a lot. It wasn't so eBay focused. It was more reseller focused, if that
Yeah,
makes sense. Yeah,
yeah. And no, and I think that's a good thing. I mean, I think the landscape has changed in the last 3 years
agreed.
too.
I
Uh,
agree with you.
our buddies Angel and Crystal, Low Life LV, and Rosie's Closet.
Yep, they talked about, like, from a local standpoint, I believe they were on a Las Vegas panel.
And speaking of Las Vegas, the always smiling, always fabulous hair having sunny Las Vegas.
He's
Our friend,
adorable.
he is a cutie.
He
And
is.
some a couple people asking about him. Can you introduce me to him? Yes, I can.
Why, yes, I can.
The I'd Flip That team of Joe and Nicole did some reseller showdown stuff. That was cool.
That went over really well. Everyone who spoke about that loved the reseller showdown.
Yeah, that was fun. And he's such a nice guy, and she is too. Kevin and Brenda Beeson, KBW Bargains.
Okay?
He's big, and we talked to him a couple times, and he's big. He's doing a lot of pickleball content on TikTok.
Really now?
I've just
Pickleball is like sweeping the nation, man.
Have you ever played it?
I have not.
It's super super fun. You'd be surprised. I have played it actually.
Okay, then.
And then special appearances by Ken Gaetano, the Hustle Bee, who did a fabulous Whatnot auction at the end, and they raised what was it? Something insane, like 10 grand,
I think 11.
11 for the
The
Blind
Blind
Center
Center of
Nevada.
Nevada, yep.
Lots of cool auctions. I think the biggest one was the $5,500 one of a kind eBay hoodie,
Yeah, that
handmade
was
by a
crazy.
local artist. It was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool. And then I did see Wade Coggins, Wade's Ventures there, but he had to leave for some reason. I don't know if an emergency came up or
I had
something.
no idea. I never saw him.
Okay. I saw him one of the nights briefly, and I was like, oh, I got to go say hello to Wade. But it's always like, oh, hey, we got to take a picture. And then you got to say hello
Take
and
a
take
photo.
a picture right away,
See,
even if it's a dark
you
club.
you you have not learned this from me?
You'd think I would.
You
Trish,
would, because I am really good at I immediately have that camera out.
we took pictures in the dark club the first night, and only Trish was like lit up like a glow from above. Trish never takes a bad photo, ladies.
Never is an exaggeration, but I do have my selfie game down.
That's right. And of course, the Seller Community Podcast, eBay for Business Podcast, and the Get Thrifty Podcast.
Yeah, it was
So
great.
it was great, and I got to spend a good amount of time with Griff. So we talked about some stuff. So I have an episode on that. I did sit down with Anna Packer, eBay
You
It Girl.
eBay it girl.
Did have a chat with her, so that was great, and talk to some other sellers. But we're gonna have some one-off episodes based on some of the conversations I had as well.
Great.
And then like you said too, the sponsors. Obviously, List Perfectly was the main sponsor. We were there. eBay, a lot of the usual suspects. Brian Burke, of course, was there. Adam Ireland, Got to see my buddy Jonathan Chard, who works on the mobile team up at eBay Portland.
And
And
then they
then,
brought in growth advisors,
yeah,
which was
that was
new
that's
this
always
year.
good.
That was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, let's go sit down and look at your account. A
Yeah.
couple sellers did that. Whatnot's really expanding into a lot of events right now, so that's good. Cool to see those guys. They're growing. Um,
My
our
reseller Jeannie was
our
there.
friends, yep, Paul and Faith.
Worth Point, Eric was there from Worth Point.
Yeah.
From Worth Point, in my opinion, this year, best swag ever was Worth Point.
Yeah, they had the little so it was interesting because they had I talked to the guy that was there, and he was super nice and super enthusiastic, and he was like it's like, "So you work for Worth Point?" He's like, "This is my first day." I'm
Yeah,
like,
no, he doesn't. Do you know who that
diving
was?
in. No.
Oh, that's Danny Ackerman's son,
Oh,
Noah.
okay. Oh, alright.
And so Worth Point was supposed to have 2 people and they something happened, somebody couldn't come. So they wanted somebody who could help Eric sit at the booth.
Alright.
And Danny is a Worth Point person, and her son uses the, product because he works for her. And so, yeah, so Danny's son came every day and sat. I mean, he's a, 19-year-old guy. I don't know how old he is.
Yeah,
I mean,
nice.
he's over 18, and he came every day and sat with Eric. But, yeah, that's who that was. And but Worth Point had Viewmasters. So
Yeah.
they had Viewmasters, and then inside the Viewmaster was, of course, a view disc, and it was different Worth Point things, talking about different items and how much they cost and stuff. It was adorable.
Yeah, that is cool. That is cool. I remember the Viewmaster from back in the '70s.
Me too. I had one. Yep. And so my dad started collecting them maybe when I was 40 or so. He got on this Viewmaster kick. So I haven't thought about this since he died. There's got to be a box with like hundreds and hundreds of these things. I'm gonna have to go find it because he had all different ones, all different Viewmasters, like from when they first started came out to, but we used to buy vintage views. So
That is
like, yeah, it was fun. I'm gonna have to go find those.
yeah, that is super cool. Um, and again, I'm looking at the sponsors here. I talked to I also talked to Rebecca Smith from Thrifty, and they're
Yeah.
super interesting. They're an app that lets you sell and buy secondhand goods through thrifty managers around the area. The
So it's
managers are vetted professionals in the community who work with Thrifty.
So it is it's an interesting concept and it's brand new. I think it's still really kind of in beta. And so
Yeah,
you become a thrifty manager and then people drop their things off to you and you have like almost like a consignment contract with them. But then you can sell them if you have your own yard sale, if you have if you are big on Facebook Marketplace, so it's like local sales. It's
yeah,
not like for selling, for shipping. So it's good for like larger items. So if maybe you're a seller and and you sell but you have things that are too big and you don't want to ship them or too difficult to ship, but it's a great deal, somebody like this would sell them for you locally.
yeah, yeah. It's a cool concept, and
Yeah,
I interviewed her right after she got a call that she had gotten some funding, not a ton, but she was super stoked. So she was
good.
a nice lady, very exciting. So lots of great sponsors, lots of great speakers. So Trish, I want to ask you, so your 3 different years, you kind of had different roles across the board.
I
So
did.
first year you attended and you spoke.
Yep.
Second year you attended and spoke, and I think you were helping list for you were working for LP then,
Yep.
I think. And then third year, logistically, you were running the show, telling people what to do, setting things up, all that. So tell us about the differences for you between the 3 years.
For me personally, I really did not speak to people this year. I really focused on working for LP and making the most out of that for the company. So, the first year I think I probably talked to every single person who went, just cuz that's how I am. The second year I worked for LP, but I also had already committed myself to do registration for Vicky and Katie and Teresa.
Yeah.
So I only worked for List Perfectly like 2 days out of the 3. And this year I really just worked for LP. So unless you came up to the booth and sought me out, I did not speak to you. And, you know, it is what it is, right? It's a job. So you do what you got to do. But if, I would absolutely recommend this. It's a great conference. It is, um, resellers really, helping other resellers. I do think if you're somebody who is new or trying to expand or wants to get better, this is a great conference. I also think it's good if you need the motivation. If you're somebody who finds it difficult to keep motivated, this will motivate you to try to get to wherever you're going. And meeting people in your same situation, having contacts, being able to call people, it really is, it's a great thing when a reseller can help another reseller, because what we do can be very solitary.
Yeah.
You're sitting in your house by yourself, and sometimes you just want to say to somebody else, I did 50 listings today. So somebody else would be like, yay, good for you, whatever it is. So
And I really, really do love this conference for a couple reasons. We did a lot of conferences this year, and obviously Camp LP. I was super involved in that, and that's a fave. But Boss Remix is always going to be special to me because obviously Katie, Vicky, and Teresa are close friends, and I love the for me it's very relaxed, it's very familiar, it's very comforting. I know a lot of people. It's cool to see so many old friends, and like we've done it 3 years in the same spot, so I know I got the like blind center down, like the back of my hand, and it's just and I it's nice. I do I do enjoy Las Vegas, so that is always a nice benefit. But it's nice to it's not I think it's spaced out well, it's not rushed, and I just enjoy it. It's always good, and, I always enjoy the networking opportunities, and it's always good to see my eBay friends and always good to see our seller friends, and, I just really like this conference. But so, we did a ton so it was very interesting. This past year has been very interesting with seller conferences because it seems like in a lot of ways it was the year of seller conferences because
it was, man.
they're
Yeah.
all back, and, especially for you. So we did Listing Party in the USA, the Listing Party in the USA tour, where we went around to a lot of like local
Local
meetups.
meetups.
We did
Yep.
that. Then we had Camp LP, and then we had, I know I'm going to leave something out, but we had eBay Open, we had Posh Fest. This is not the order. Posh Fest. We had FlipCon, Reseller Rally, and the interesting thing was people had said they were and a lot of them were packed into like a month or 2.
Yep.
So I was gone, in my opinion, a lot, but you were gone the most of anybody. So
Yep.
it's interesting now. So now people are saying organizers are looking at the calendar and they're saying, we got to space these out. So Boss has said that they're not going to do 2024. They're going to
Correct.
push it out into 2025, probably earlier in the year, which I think
Right.
is good. eBay's probably going to stay where they are September, October. Posh Fest, Manish Chandra, the CEO of Poshmark, likes to do it in October. I think that's his birthday month.
Yeah, that's what we
So,
heard. So we think
yeah.
that's true.
And then, we don't know too is like, so FlipCon is up in the air. We're not sure. But so talk about just high level, your experience with events this year. This is the last one. We're going into the holidays. We're well into Q4. By the way, if you haven't planned for Q4, now's the time to get started.
If you haven't planned for Q4, list as much stuff as you can immediately.
That's right. Get on.
Um, so I think there was a lot of things this year. It's amazing how many people went to a lot of them, the same people. There are some people that I saw this year over and over and over again. Cheryl, yeah, yeah.
Always
I
there.
saw her multiple times. Susie Eads, saw her multiple
Yeah.
times. There were a lot of people who went to multiple, and I think it's interesting now. So we'll see kind of how it shakes out in the wash. I do think that they need to be spread out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because I do think there are a lot of people who would like to attend more than one. Just like I said at the beginning, when what we do is really kind of a solo thing for most of us. So these really do add a lot to your bottom line, as in like how much education and learning new tricks and meeting people and filling up your cup will full of, promises and greatness, and this can work and I can do this and so did it. I can do it. It really helps. So for me, I think high level, a lot of them were too close together. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
So we'll see this year if maybe they get spread out a little bit more.
So talking about like, the solitary nature of what sellers do, accountability. If only Trish, there's somewhere that sellers could go to chat, to get motivation, to get
Well, Doug,
motivation, to get
now that you mention that, there is
there
something.
anywhere.
So he is making reference to Listing Party, which is a site that List Perfectly started. It's called Listing Party, listingparty.com. If you are a client or a member of List Perfectly, you automatically belong to this. You just have to go in and create a profile. It's free. And on there, we have different things that you can do. So one of them is I run a mastermind every morning at 9 o'clock Eastern. And we started a new thing now. We're doing a different topic every week. And I made the topics up a couple of weeks ago for like the whole rest of the year. And that's working out really well. I've been averaging about 35 people a day at the moment.
Wow.
And it's going great. But I think the reason we get that kind of turnout is because people need this. You need the accountability. You need not everybody. Some people will work till their fingers bleed, you know what I mean? And they don't need it. But some of us need to know that other people are gonna, wonder how we're doing, or we're gonna have to share our numbers or whatever. So Listing Party, but then there's different ones. So Doug has one on every other Wednesday. Is that right? Twice a month?
Yes. Thank you.
That is just like fun. They talk about different topics. Sometimes it's seller related, sometimes it's not. But there's like eBay 101, there's LP 101. There's also, I think Teresa's gonna have like eBay basics, like for newbies to kind of get like some of the eBay stuff down. I do a 6-figure mastermind about what you have to do to get into the 6-figure club. And then there are specific, one of the consignment girls, Samantha, did one on just Canva last week, and she did one on just Photo Room. So it's a place where you can come and learn things, but they're interactive. It's through video conferencing, so you can talk, you can ask questions, you can be on camera or not, you can use the chat, it's just a place that you can really ask your questions. And then LP has a 411 every single day with a tech person. So every single day, Monday through Friday, not on the weekends, there is somebody from tech who's in a room for an hour that you can go in and ask specific questions. How do I do this? How can I do that? So Listing Party to me is kind of like a conference that's happening all the time. A little less rigorous, as in how much content is out there. It's a little less rigorous in that way. But I think if you're somebody who wished you had gone to these conferences, if you're somebody who thinks that you might like them, try Listing Patty, because you really do get a taste of what a conference is like, in the sense of the interaction. You can ask questions, you can get things. I did a presentation yesterday. I made a PowerPoint all on Linktree and why everyone should have a Linktree associated
Yeah.
with their socials and what it would do for you. And so, yeah, so it's great.
Yeah, it's a lot of those little things too, that add up. But like you said too, to me, it's kind of like going to the gym, go with a buddy, have accountability, or in a lot of ways, honestly, working from home. It's easy to get distracted working from home. So you've got this, you can tune in with these people and connect. And you know, like me, I've worked from home for many years. Trish, I rarely leave the house. Like
I
if
don't
I
leave the
gotta
house very much either
like
unless I'm
exciting.
going somewhere. But here's the thing. Working from home can do the opposite also. I cannot tell you how many days that my husband has come in and said to me, "You've been out here doing this for 8 hours." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "I have?" Like, and I'm
Yep.
talking more about when I was listing, not working for LP, because when you work for LP, you're doing different stuff. So, and you always kind of know what time it is because, you might have a meeting or you got to meet with somebody, things like that. But when you're just listing and you're working, sometimes you're like, what the hell? I've been out here and you stand up and your legs are cramped. And it's great it can also help in that way also. It can help
Yeah,
you maybe have a balance a little bit better. Some people go one way, some people go the other, and maybe we can, help balance in the middle.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So that's great. Mastermind and so many other things at listingparty.com. But to sum up, Reseller Remix, always a great event. Boss
Great
Reseller
event.
Remix.
Yep.
All the info's at resellerremix.com. There's a Facebook group you can join if you want to get the FOMO, and just keep an eye, a lot of your friends there, a lot of motivation. So, what else on that to close up, Trish?
And I was gonna say, I think the Facebook group is just if you have a ticket, but everyone should join BOSS, which is Business for Online Seller Success. That's what BOSS stands for. That was a Facebook that started by Teresa Cox, and then Vicky and Katie, of course, came in later. But definitely join BOSS. BOSS is a great overall Facebook for online selling. They're very good about people who are new asking questions. But when you're in that group, you'll hear about Reseller Remix. So if you're interested, please join that. It's a great resource. And of course, join us. List Perfectly has a group of their own.
Yeah.
You do not have to be a List Perfectly customer to join, but please join. We'd love to have you. It's we would also, put it in there when tickets go on sale and such.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We help spread the word. We also sponsored pretty much every seller event this year, which was great. Um,
We literally did.
we literally did. Yeah.
No, like literally.
And we did. We totally did. But before we go, Trish, have you heard about this Pro Plus plan?
So I have actually.
Well, so this
You
is,
heard about it, Doug.
I
That's
have
the
heard about it
question.
too. I have, yes. So we want to make sure everybody's heard about it. So we've got basically we've launched this Pro Plus plan, and we've got this limited offer that's been extended to February 15th, 2024. So basically, you can get Pro Plus features with a Pro Plan subscription until February 2024. So you're
Right.
getting, you pay the 69 a month, and then you get these Pro Plus features basically to try out. And we'll go quickly over, but they're game changers. I've heard people say that it's cut their listing time in half or nearly in half, 40%.
Yeah, it gets spoken about quite a bit at Mastermind in the morning. And one of the things that has really it's called List Assist, I
That's right.
believe.
Yeah.
Um, and if you start a title, it will like fill in it will build you a description and build you up. I mean, it's amazing. And I've had at least 4 people tell me they're not going to use VAs anymore
Yeah.
because this is a way that it does it as fast and it's within, they don't have to pay for somebody else, wait. You're not sending somebody photos and waiting and stuff
Exactly.
like that. Yeah.
And so, yeah, Listing Assistant uses AI that builds your listing starting with a title, or you can scan a barcode and it builds everything for you, your description, size, color, keywords, and even in some cases, images and pricing suggestions.
Yeah, if there's images associated with it, if it's a new product and there's images associated with it, it might pop them in too. So it's an interesting thing. You never know what you're going to get when you first start, but it's really awesome. It has been a game changer. Another thing that people seem to really like is the ability to move the dashboard around so you
Yeah,
can customize it so it's the things that you use. So you're not having to stay within, a certain look. You can move things and change them so it's the way you list can help
yeah.
with that.
Add and delete columns in that new customizable listing dashboard.
Right.
Improved mobile interface. Inventory labels. This is cool for some
Oh,
of you
your
that have
QR
more than
codes.
five
Yeah.
bins.
Yeah. So for people who have real inventories, unlike my lovely co-host here, you know, sorry,
I heard
Dougie.
that, by the way.
I know. I'm sorry, Dougie. It will print out a QR code that will have your SKU on it and stuff. And then if you scan that, it will bring up the listing so you can make shipping faster. It can help you with making sure if you're doing inventory, which I suggest everybody do every once in a while. I'm on a rotating
Oh,
inventory schedule. So we do so many buckets a week or so many letters a week, but so you can find things very easy with this new QR code. It's awesome.
because even I'm like, every once in a while, I just thought I sold that fake dragon skull.
Douglas.
But also shipping status and pull sheets. I mean, if you've got this
Yeah,
is
a
more
pull
larger
a pull
business.
sheet is like awesome. So yesterday was Monday. Um and I had no, yesterday wasn't Monday, but that's okay. Monday of this week, I think I had 78 that I had to ship.
Yeah.
So being able to put out a pull sheet that combines all your platforms, that's awesome.
Yeah,
And it
that's huge.
and you yeah, it's huge.
But I have 5 bands that I can picture in my head, so I'm like, "Eh." But, and then a couple other exciting things, multi-user access with
Yeah, so if
distinct
you're somebody
subaccounts.
exactly. So if you're somebody like me who has people who work for you, you can allow them to have their own login and then you can dictate what kind of they can do and what they can see. So it's great for, employees, things like that. It's going to be awesome.
And then you've got, increased photo background removals, and then we're also tying in with these multi-user accounts. We're calling it shared limits. So
Right.
basically, you've got these things: your photo background removal. I think your some of the AI stuff. You're
Yeah.
going to have
The
increased
UPC
limits that
lookup.
share.
Yep.
PC lookup. Increased limits shared amongst all of your main and sub accounts.
Right. So if you're the only one who's doing the listing, if you do all of them and the other person, it's not like you can't use both. You can get access to both of them.
Exactly. Bulk editing tools are cool.
Yep.
Saves you a ton of time. Sales information is gathered automatically and added directly to your robust analytics.
Yeah. Analytics are one of those things that anyone who has been around for a while and knows Teresa Cox, analytics are her like favorite. She really,
And
she would like is all the information all the
yeah,
time. Whereas
everything.
I don't even pay attention to it most of the time.
But so, and then there's a couple, so there's a lot more coming to this, but there's a couple things in beta. And this one thing I know Trish is particularly into is listing sync.
Yeah. Um, so you can go out and it will tell you, well, I like the link. The sync is good too, but there's two. There's
Link and
link
sync.
and sync. Okay.
And they
So
rhyme,
link,
Trish.
yeah, exactly. Link is on all accounts, any level. So link will tell you if it's linked to an active item. I'm sorry, I hit my computer. An active item on any of the platforms.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sync will tell you where it is, what it's happening, what links are broken, what's happening. So they kind of do two different things, even though they're similar. But link and sync, I think being able to hit something and to know what kind of state you're in is wonderful. To be able to know, oh crap, I really need to work on this or fix that, or how did this happen? Um,
Yeah.
you know, and we all know this. Listen, I've been an eBay girl for a very long time. I love eBay. I will tell anybody in the world I love eBay. But every once in a while they drop stuff. And before List Perfectly, you would have to redo that listing. Find it, redo it because it wouldn't be there. You would have the item, you had listed it, it is gone. And eBay says, "Oh, that doesn't happen." Um
It happens.
And then exactly. But now with, LP, you can just go out and find it again and make it live again.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
click that, link, and then sync, link and sync, sync and link.
Link and sync.
They sound like a little rap duo.
Yes.
And then a couple other things. So, basically, Amanda has said all this has been in planning since List Perfectly started, and they've had different steps to get here. An early step in all of this was, sales notification. which is
Right.
great. You get notified on your mobile device or whatever when you have a sale, and you can easily go in and delist. And this is again in private beta, but auto delist is coming soon. That will remove listings for you automatically. So stay tuned for that. And then, but basically, so this is Pro Plus, and so again, we want to push this so you get take advantage of this. This is basically, like Trish had said, this is basically going to become your virtual assistant.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
And it's at the same price right now as Pro. So you can opt in, use the features until the middle of February, and then you'll just revert right back to Pro.
Yeah.
And then you can decide what you want to do. But here's the thing, you could do a lot of work between now and February 15th, right? Use link, use sync, do all the things, get your catalog, get your listings in the best possible position. And then you can decide what you want to do going forward.
Take it around the block, kick
Exactly.
the
Kick the
tires,
tires.
turn the stereo up, try out that nav system, the sunroof. And so, yeah, if you're in Pro Plus, you can, or if you're in Pro, you can opt into the Pro Plus features from there. If you are in Simple or Business, just upgrade to the Pro plan and you will have access to these features as well. And then
Exactly.
again, more stuff coming soon. And keep in mind too, this is a huge opportunity to also opt into the referral program if you're not doing that. It's so easy to sign up. It doesn't cost you anything. This is going to give you something great to push and get you some of that referral money. I mean, we have some sellers that are making thousands a month in referrals,
We do.
which is pretty amazing.
We have a couple who make over 6 figures a year. I mean, that's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
So, and with the Pro Plus, the ability to, I really think if once you try it, you're going to understand why it's so good. So it's really an interesting thing. It's a great product. I'm thrilled with it.
And then, if you have questions, there's always the Facebook group. We are going to do specific Pro Plus 101 listing parties and listing party, but
Right.
we've got the 101 calls where you can go in, the tech support 101 calls. There's Teresa's call, Teresa's listing party. You can ask in their questions because some people are either nervous to try it or they're like, well, it's too much for me. This is the opportunity to try it
Yeah,
out and
exactly.
just see, because so here's the deal. If you try it out, basically this week, you're going to have 90 days to try this out at
Correct.
this basically, discounted price. And then again on after February 15th, 2024, the day after Valentine's Day, Trish, your
Okay.
Pro
I'll try
Plus
to remember that,
features,
Doug.
yes, Pro Plus features, just look for the roses. Pro Plus features conclude, and you don't have to do anything. You'll switch back to your previous plan,
Yeah,
and then you
you
can
everyone will get switched back. So it's not like, and you're not gonna get stuck if you think, "Oh, I'll never remember," or whatever. I have like a fuzzy on my nose. It's driving me crazy from my sweater, I think.
sit sweater weather,
It's
sweater
sweater
weather.
weather.
So, but basically, we're saying, here, try this Cadillac for 3 months. See what you think. Try HBO for the
Cadillac
weekend. See what you
Escalade,
think.
my friend.
Try Sirius XM for 3 months.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. If it's not for you, it's not for you. We think it's going to be for you, but if it's not for you, we're not going to hound
Exactly.
you. No
No,
worries.
no worries.
But
Listen,
I'd be
everything,
surprised
me too. But,
if you try it out and then you don't like it.
it's gonna be awesome. I'm really enjoying it. And Doug is really right about the listing party aspect. If you're somebody, we want to help you. We're only successful when you're successful. So we they built listing party just for this, and please come in, use it. I am under the opinion that our lowest plan, which is $29 a month, is worth the wait for listing party alone.
Mhm.
You will get more than $29 a month worth of information out of there, motivation, information, friendship, fun also. We do have fun over there. So please, if you're an LP person and you have not joined Listing Party, please do it. Come in, say hello. We want to see you. And if you have not opted into the Pro Plus, I'm going to suggest you do, and at least try it out at this price.
Exactly, exactly. And let us know what you think too.
Yeah,
And speaking of letting us know what you think, so obviously our companion site, our website is thesellercommunitypodcast.com. You can go over there, see the show notes. You'll see links from today's episode. You can review all the other episodes, the 140 plus, 3 years in, 3 seasons. We're gearing up for our fourth season, Trish.
I'm so excited, Doug.
That's right. And and you can even listen there. And
Yeah.
then you can get some merch if you like. Contact form there. So if you have suggestions, feedback, input, you can click that and shoot us an email. And we want to hear what you have to say, what you like, what you don't like. And we also want to, we'd love for you to review us on Apple or Spotify. That
Please.
helps us grow. So just let us know what you think.
And we'd also love it. Do you have any ideas? You have an idea for a podcast? Maybe you want to be on. You have a interesting story you'd like to tell? Please send us an email. We'd love to hear it.
Yep. Yep. And you can email podcast@listperfectly.com or use that contact form at thesellercommunitypodcast.com. All right.
All right.
Well,
Doug,
thanks.
it's always
Trish.
a pleasure, Doug.
Always a joy speaking with you.
Always a joy.
Thanks for recapping Boss Reseller Remix 2023 with me.
My pleasure.
All right. And thanks everybody for listening, watching, all that.
Yep.
We will see you next time.
time.